Here we are again.
Hey.
Hey, you can take. There you go, bud. I love it. And you're gonna need
cut.
and we're done. We just want to drink water with Gerard today. We talk action movies before. London Has Fallen, and now you're in space. That's cool.
Yeah.
What?
I was so bored making action movies on Earth. I'm like, where can I go? Well, the logical next step would be space. But how fun, to go up to space stations and be dealing with satellites all around the Earth and that to and from. And it's like, it's just there. It's like 6 hours up there, you jump on a space shuttle, and you really got that sense of connection between us here and where we go, what we have to take up there, and what we have to do up there.
That's what your director was talking about. And of course, I'm in Houston, and we have NASA, and I didn't realize the involvement that NASA had, the logos, and they looked at his drawings and said, yeah, this is kind of accurate.
It was amazing. Yeah, Dean told me about that when they came in. He's like, is this crazy? They went, not so crazy. Actually, we had these blueprints ourselves.
There is climate change and what's going on. We see, obviously, in Houston, the hurricane that we just had, and we hear what's going around. And we're not preaching at anybody, but it is a movie in which it's just total entertainment. But there is a discussion about climate change, and I want to know how important that is to you, to be a part of this film and what people should take.
Well, listen, on the one hand, this film is fiction. It's a disaster movie. They've been making them for decades. But to me, one of the things I loved about it was the second I read it was I thought, wow, this really is a cautionary tale. And this is telling somebody a fable, but saying what if? And the things that are happening right now in our world are big, well, not what if, but here it is. And I think that sometimes you can beat people over the head with a message, and then sometimes you can entertain them, but allow that message to slip through. And that feels like what our movie is. It's not beating anybody over the head, because global warming is almost dealt with in the first few minutes.
Right.
And in actual fact, that's a goosebump moment when you watch it happening, but then see that mankind actually dealt with that part. We came together when we really had to, and we defeated that problem. But then the question is, what happens after that?
Right.
What happens when we always develop these new technologies, and what vulnerabilities does that leave? Because it seems nowadays that every time we develop something, we suddenly go, uh-oh, that could kill us.
Yeah.
That could kill all of us.
Right.
Which is, I think, another interesting idea behind the movie.
I have to get this in. You actually watched videos of an astronaut to get ready for this role. Okay, you're doing this, so that's true. Tell me about that.
Well, no, I was watching Hubble, the documentary,
Yeah.
and I was on the phone with my agent afterwards saying, oh my God, those guys are amazing. I love those guys, and so humble, and watching what they did, the courage. That's what I base my characters on, so I tap into that. And he's like, oh, that's my client. I represent Mike Massimo, the guy up there. So he sends him an email, and the next minute I get an email back from my agent going, whoa. And basically, he'd said to Mike Massimo, my client just watched your movie, wanted to say he's a big fan, thought you were amazing. Mike Massimo responds, tell your client, love to meet him someday. And this plot thickens, because the favorite movie of me and my STX-142 Hubble space crew was 300, to the point that they would give us, that his kind of co-commander would give him the Leonidas speech every time he went out to do a spacewalk. And I'm watching these spacewalks going, it's amazing, oh my God. He'd just been given a Leonidas speech, and then every time they went into a dark pass of the Earth where the sun goes behind the Earth and everything goes pitch black, he would say, then we shall spacewalk in the shade, which is a line from 300. So it's kind of amazing that I was watching this, and it was also the same week I got this script for GEOSTORM, so there was a lot of serendipity to the whole thing.